Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in the next 5 years, my goal is definitely to become a Pan African content creator that is
Yeah.
definitely known across the board for, let me say, most English speaking countries. But also,
Yes.
I'd also like to explore content that has no barrier in terms of language, because we have a lot of
Exactly.
languages in Africa. And there is, for example, there are a lot of French speaking countries in Africa. You find most of them
Yeah.
commenting in my videos, asking for a translation into French. And yeah, so that is one of the things. And another one is to also become a channel through which young content creators or upcoming content creators can come onto the scene,
Yes.
because it's a matter of creating a legacy as well. It's not
Yeah.
just about Chiche shining all the day. It's also about this light that Chiche has brought about. Where else is it
Yeah.
shining? Yeah.
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 Yeah. So as a content creator, like an African Kenyan, first African, you want to be a Pan African content creator. What do you think is gonna serve Africa on the international level as a Pan African content creator?
I think probably I wouldn't say what is going to save us is us reinvesting in our content or in our craft. Because if we can borrow from the music industry, the only reason the music industry, the African music industry, is doing well is if these guys are reinvesting in their music, in their PR, in their image, and marketing themselves beyond the African borders as well. So if we can do the same in terms of content, have our names go out there, be known, I am pretty sure we can make a difference, because currently we'd proudly say that the most followed person on TikTok is an African in Kabane Lame. So we have the potential already. It is just for us to reinvest, just use our money wisely,
Yeah.
to maybe sacrifice a little bit. We know there's a lot of fun out here. In as much as we have fun, let us not have too much fun. Let us save a
Yeah.
little to reinvest in our craft. That is what can
Uh,
save the African content space.
yeah. 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 I do believe we as African, we have a lot of creativity, but we have resources, but we don't have the leader that can utilizing our resources to benefit us, and
Yeah,
that always put us behind other continents like South and North America and Europe, because I'm looking into social media these days, and tech wise generally I see that a lot of Americans now are getting inspiration from Africa, like from
yeah,
African content creators, even musicians nowadays, right? Like you look at uh, a guy like Burna Boy is like shining all over the world. Like Chris Brown
yeah,
now is like performing in Africa, where he's loved a lot, and you see they just get inspiration from this side.
yeah.
Also, Kendrick Lamar, I think one of his album, he said he got the inspiration when he was traveling in Joburg in Soweto, you know. So what do you think, like, what's the difference between them and us, like, in terms of creativity?
I think I would say that in terms of creativity, I would say both parties are creative, very, very
Yeah,
creative. Uh,
yeah,
but in terms of resources, that is where now probably the Western side has an upper hand over us. For example, in music, there are record labels, and in content creation, when you look in other countries or in the West, there are house of content, like content houses, whereby people come there and they are fully focused on creating content. They have all the resources at their disposal, just like a record label. I think that is one thing that they're doing that here in Kenya it's something difficult, here in Africa is something difficult, and maybe even the monetization of the content itself. It is quite easy to get a partnership in the West compared to here in Africa. Here in Africa, you have to build massive numbers in order to get
yes, yes. It's not for everyone.
it's not for everyone. But in for example in the US, you can have like 10K followers and you're already having the top tier jobs already. You see, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah,
those
yeah.
are the few nitty-gritties uh that are making a difference. And maybe I can also say probably the algorithm itself, you know, the algorithm itself recommends content differently, you know. For example, if I do content in Swahili and have subtitles, at times it is quite hard for my content to boom
To
in
perform better.
in the West. Yes.
Yeah.
But if we get, for example, Chinese content with English subtitles, I don't understand how it makes its way here. But anyway, maybe those nitty-gritties, if we can work on that, be more creative, work on our quality as well, because quality and is very important. And basically not to forget the bit of content, because content is everything. If we have quality content, we can definitely make a difference.
Oh, yeah, yeah, man, amazing, amazing. In terms of algorithm, when you mention the algorithm, because
Yeah.
we as creators in Africa, like for example, like if you have a YouTube channel and the cost per meal, like they call CPM, the one that
Yes.
they pay in America, it's totally different from the one they
Yeah.
pay in Africa. So
Yeah.
I used to wonder why it is like that, because when you check the number of the people that are using the internet that side and our numbers of internet this side, it's really, in Africa we are so many, the user, in terms of users, they are very like limited.
Yeah.
That's the first trick. The second one is the way the advertisers pay for advertisements. That side and this side is really, really different. And that side, they
Yes.
buy more than our side. You see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're a creator, you already understanding how those metrics work. You just see like our our money is going to be very, very low. So for the people that don't understand, like you should understand that why is like Africa, we always get small portion of what we've created. But anyway, you shouldn't be discouraged if you're a content creator, listen and watching this. Just drop the
Yes.
content anytime. Keep showing up, and within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're gonna get to a certain number where your followership is big, and then people will consider you as well.